Welcome back on the AM show. AM on Wheels will be back because now we're going to be having an interaction in a bit with the Member of Parliament for that area, Botiano Ngleshi Amanfro. That will be later when Sweetie Abochi actually lands him. Of course, she had an interaction with the constituents. Later, she'll be having that interaction. But now, in the studio, we're heading to the Oti region. And it's all about the regional minister, Joshua Makubu. He's attained quite a number of feats, but we're going to be talking about his region and what exactly has been happening there. The name, Joshua Makubu. Thank you so much for joining the conversation.
You're welcome.
It's good to have you, and I think it's only fitting to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Okay. It's my first time, actually. So he's my regional minister. He's my regional minister because of where I come from in Ghana. But to start off the conversation, I would ask the Oti region, since its creation, I mean, you've been there, you've been at the helm of affairs. What has been happening in the Oti region?
Yeah, thank you very much. Just as you indicated, after the creation of the region, we need to set up offices for the various agencies, especially the government offices. And also we started with the regional administration block. We also did the directorate for the health, directorate for education, directorate for agri feeder rules, and then that of the urban rules. And then we are working on other. Some of them have been completed, others are yet to complete. We have also been involved in the provision of some social amenities, ranging from water, educational facilities in the secondary schools as well as the basic school levels. So far, we've been doing the normal job of government. In terms of security, yes, as I speak now, we have the Regional Police Command. We have other security centers like immigration, the customs, what they call it, prisons and fire service, who are all doing what they are supposed to do. And that has helped us to be able to rise to the occasion when there are some security challenges.
So in other words, the institutions of government that must feature in a region, because that used to be a part of the erstwhile Volta region. So you've been able to put all of these in place as of now?
Yeah, majority of them have been put in place. The most critical ones, I think we have them now. And then we are looking forward to getting the others to come on board.
All right. So let's now focus on another aspect of the region. And you spoke about security a short while ago. We all know of what has happened in Kwanta in recent times and the standoff and the curfew. We had an interaction just about maybe 2 weeks ago on people in that area, how it is affecting economic life and all that. But walk us through what happened and what the RegSec, for example, has done on the back of that so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue of Nkwanta, like somebody would say, is an issue that has been there among brothers. I always call them brothers because if you look at the Adele, the Achode, and the Chala, there are people who have either intermarried since January, before some of us were born. As I speak now, you will not count 1, 2, 3 Adele houses that you will not have an Achode nephew or niece there. And then the same thing at the Achode side and then the Chala. So, but it has to do with dispute over the lands, mainly within the Nkwanta township, which sometimes they have been in and out of court, in and out of these traditional courts as well. But it's like, as time goes on, positions become entrenched, tensions build up. We've been trying, just as a regional security council or the municipal security committee can do, where there are possible clashes, we come in to see how we can tame it. But this time around, I think that because of how entrenched people were, it went beyond the normal heckling we used to know. People refused to go to court, and then people have to rely on the use of strength, which was very unfortunate. However, I think that with in collaboration with the security agencies and the efforts some chiefs and other residents have put in place, we have been able to kind of reduced tension in town, and life is beginning to pick up in Nkwanta as it used to be. For us, the young ones, we've always referred to Nkwanta as the city of love in the Oti region, and so it was until this unfortunate incident. But life has started picking up, even though the curfew is there. Now, after the hospitals, they were operating, churches have resumed, schools have resumed, the market center, the population is increasing on each market day. So we expect that when things remain like this, the report we'll get from the security agency will possibly inform a review of the curfew. However, we are still in talks with the chiefs, and the Bishop of the Kali Diocese of Jasikei is also put together a committee in collaboration with RISEC, and there are plans to continue to engage the chiefs to see how we can find a lasting solution to these menace.
You mentioned the review, of course. The RISEC has to sit to determine when, but do you have any idea? Because like I said, we've had interactions with some of, even the young men. I had an interaction and some people said that some of the young people had left that area to other parts of the region because they feel economically and others, they are being hampered. So do you have any idea within which period you can work on this so that the curfew can be lifted?
Well, for us, we review the situation every week. We look at what is happening, pick intelligence from the security people on the ground and the music as well. So as and when they are, but looking at how stable it has become in the past 3 weeks, I think if it continues this way and we begin to see more effort from the various ethnic groups in engaging their people, I think it will stand
sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it should be sooner than later.
Okay. Let's talk, right before we get into other personal exploits, let's talk about how your government has fared in power in the Oti region, but nationally. I mean, whatever affects Accra or other parts of the country also affects the Oti region. You can talk about inflation, you can talk about the cost of living, you can talk about many other bits, the exchange rate, but generally, how people feel about the economy and about governance. How would you say this NPP administration has fared? This is an electoral year, so these are questions that would come up. How do you feel you have fared? And do you think going into election 2024, it is indeed possible to break the 8?
Yeah, thank you very much. If you're asking about how the government of His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo Addo and the NPP has fared since he was sworn into office on the 7th of January 2017, I can say that so far so good. Government has done well for us in the Oti region. At least having our somehow independence and seeing what it is bringing to us now. If we take the creation of the Oti region alone, the ordinary teacher who would have left Pasa and then to travel to Ho to get his form endorsed, and then for steady leave, get a form endorsed for a leave or any other thing, wouldn't have to do that again. It is not only reducing the cost of transportation, but the time that you need to have traveled, and then sometimes you may have to even sleep and pay accommodation. It's no longer like that. Governor has been brought closer to you. The other time I was telling the Brigadier General for the, the Southern Command when he came, at least when the issues in Nkwanta started and other things, the response time, because the security agencies were closer to us, they were able to move in immediately. So when it comes to raid governance and then those who want to come to the Regional Coordinating Council to do things, those who never had opportunity of even visiting and then interacting with the minister at the Regional Coordinating Council, none have that opportunity. So in terms of governance, at least governance has been closer to us now than it was. If you come to Dambai, where the regional capital is, everybody will attest to the fact that the cost of, the value of land has increased, the value of rooms for rent has increased, and those who are into that area are actually putting up accommodation facilities and they are making money. So economically, they are being empowered in one way or the other. Now, when you come to the region as a whole, if it has to do with road network, Yes, we still know that we have a lot to do as far as the road network is concerned. However, what is undisputable remains that the NPP regime under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo has done more, made more impact in the road sector in the Oti region than the previous government. And when we are talking, you remember the 2016 when he was on his campaign tour between Jasika and Hohwe, and the statement he made, Now, I think from Hohwe, you need less than 15 minutes to get to Jasika. If you have been coming home, that stretch has been done, and from Jasika into the PPSU, who lies squarely in your district, that is the KJB district, where Asato is the anchor, has also been successfully done. Yeah, there were quite a number of roads we were working on that have stalled for maybe due to some lack of payment, but at least my last check at the road ministry. Well,
there's the latest disbursement from the IMF. Hopefully that should help with some of these projects.
Yeah, and then if we come to educational infrastructure, I want to say that because we are a region on our own now, the implementation of the free TVET has also been something that the Oti region has benefited. If you go to Krachin Chumburu, we have a technical institute now, well equipped with all modern facilities from fashion design to agri carpentry, building and building technology, which we see that is a step in the right direction. And we are putting up another TVET center in Dambai itself, that is the regional capital, which is also going to equip the youth in that area. Justice delivery, as I speak to you, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo government has been able to deliver 5 new courts in the Oti region that came with bungalows for churches. Now we have a high court. Those of us who are litigants will not have to travel to Hohwe or where we need to use 2 days to be able to attend to a case. Okay. That has also been brought. So far, so good. I think if we're going to vote and then we want to compare and contract records, deliverables, I think breaking the 8 should be very easy, especially having His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as our flag bearer. It should be possible for us to go through.
So you've heard Joshua Makubu, the Oti regional minister. He says if it's record for record, then breaking the 8 should be very easy for the vice president. But let's talk now about you. You've been up to a number of interesting things in recent times, and one of which is getting your doctoral degree. And congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
Many people do not know that you're a PWD, a person with disability. We're also bringing this to the fore so that people will realize being a person with disability does not imply inability.
Yeah.
So tell us about this latest feat, securing a doctoral degree. What was it in?
Finance.
Oh, wow. So maybe you'll be heading to the finance.
No, not necessarily. I think
that was just a joke. It was on the lighter side. But what pushed you to do this, to secure this doctoral degree in finance?
Sometimes back, I made a statement. Growing up as a child, I was born with a defective knee from infancy. By age 9, my right leg was amputated. And I started looking for alternatives. And I realized that no, the most suitable alternative was to get some skills, was to use my brains, acquire skills that would make me useful to society. So embarking on the educational journey hadn't been very smooth, but then I felt that was the only option for me, that I need to push and push harder. One, to let people know that, look, when you get to the situation that I got myself into, becoming a person with disability, there's always a way to get an alternative to make yourself useful in society. I've been telling people that what will our hands be known for if they are not useful? What will our legs be known for if they are not useful? The Black Stars, excuse me, they were selected based on the fact that they were physically fit. At least they have legs. But when they went and they couldn't perform, I don't think anybody even see them as maybe people with chariots, but maybe that was the other way around. But if I don't have a leg, if I don't have an arm, if I've lost my sight, but it comes to decision making, I can offer what they call it, opinions that will be useful to society by attaining some kind of degrees that will make me competent in that direction. So that is what has motivated me. And I've always had, my late father and my late sister have been my champions. I remember there was a time when my brother started misbehaving towards me. I wrote a letter whilst in secondary school to my dad, and I told him that, look, I know all that my brothers are doing, but no matter what, the vulture will never eat grass. My dad responded by saying that before I eat grass, he would have eaten grass before me. So long as he remained alive, I would never eat grass. I saw that as an impetus, something that pushed me. Then my late sister one day told me, hey, Joshua, my mom gave birth to 5 of us. If money is thrown on the street, you are the only person who will not be able to rush and pick it. Therefore, our effort, support to your education is not for you to finish school and come and support us back, but to make you a responsible citizen, to also contribute to your personal development as well as the nation. And these are things that I felt that I didn't need to disappoint them, and they kept me going even when the going becomes tougher.
I'm sure they are very proud of you, as we all are, for this feat. But tell me, as a person with disability, what were the challenges? I have been in class before with visually challenged people, so I know that it's not easy, it's not smooth sailing. What were some of the challenges you had to go through to get this?
Yeah, I think the major thing has to do with accessibility. Our educational institutions, I have always been saying that when we are applying for admissions, they make us indicate whether you are a male or female, you have a disability or not. So when that is done, I expected that data should be used. Even if the existing structures are not accessible, at least allocation of classrooms should be done in such a way that classrooms that have persons with disabilities will be at levels that at least they will not have to struggle a lot to get there. So that is what I think we should work on. Then again, acceptability is a problem. You get into the environment and people, instead of waiting to see what you can do, they are quick to prejudice you.
So they judge
you before. Sometimes you have to be in class until the first semester results are released before people say, hey, this person can be with that. So your first semester, you are very sure that you cannot even get a steady partner until you begin making contributions in class and other things. So I just want to appeal to my college students. When you see persons with disability, let's show them that they love. Let's put some confidence in them and encourage them. They have enormous talents that they can bring to bear. But if they are not accepted, I said it because I have a professor, incidentally, he supervised my PhD thesis, Professor Joshua Addo. When I started my MPhil in Legon, it got to a point, things were a bit difficult, both financially and then maybe social alignment. But he does something. Anytime I went to him, or he went to refer to me in class, he doesn't mention my name, he used the name Josh. So it gave me that opportunity to get closer to him and feel that, yeah, this is somebody I can rely on, I can cry to, I can tell him my problem. And when people say what is worrying them, it relieves them. So the challenges are normal. Yesterday, when during the graduation ceremony, when they were doing the student enrollment and other things, they gave the distribution in terms of nationality, gender, and other things. I was a bit worried. I never heard anything about what the disability status of the student. I was thinking that by the time the Vice Chancellor will finish the speech, we have been able to tell how many persons with disabilities were currently in school and those who were even graduating this year. When that is being done, then you are aware that they know that you are part of them, you are in the system. These are the peculiar challenges. But the fact that somebody is not able to recognize your presence tells you that the person has not adequately prepared for you. And some of these things, there are things we can easily do. You don't need more money to be able to classify your student population into PWDs and then non-PWDs.
So these are things that, and of course we see some of them in our academic institutions where even access roads where people using wheelchairs can be wheeled on are not available. Access to classrooms. So I get exactly what you mean. And these are all things that we can do better at as a people. Look, there was a time when I saw white canes that our brothers and sisters who are visually impaired will use. And that sometimes is also from government because, you know, the association, they need assistance. They don't get them. All of these are there and they are problematic.
And some of the challenges you don't even need money to do. Maybe just a statement. For instance, when you get to our university campuses, Tech, where I did my first degree and something like that, they'll say taxis are not allowed beyond this point.
A certain point, right.
I just like, look, let's just add it, except taxis with PWDs on board.
Right.
That way you don't need money to do that. Yeah. The security person there, we just have to make sure that the person on board is a PWD and it go through. Because if not, if you have to alight at the Volta car park and use your wheelchair to access, if you are lucky you meet management, they have the but if you don't meet them, and it is the lower level people who have been instructed to ensure that no taxis are allowed beyond this point, it becomes a problem. So,
well, we have to go, but in the manner of your professor, I'll call you Josh. Josh, what more can we expect from you, especially as this is an electoral year? What does the future look like for Joshua Makubu?
Thank you very much. The future is very bright, especially as we work to ensure that His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia becomes the next president. Politically, I've been telling people that in this year, 2024, there's only one project, and that project is to get the vice president elected, get NPP retain power. It doesn't really matter who is where. No, I don't do my politics like that. It is one thing at a time. From now to December 7th, mine is to make sure that the vice president is elected. I have 9 parliamentary candidates that are very capable, right from Guam to Nkwanta North, Karachi West, Karachi East, and other things, that if we push, majority of them should be able to win their seat. And that is what I will be seen doing 2024 as the minister for the region.
Right. Thank you so much for having joined the conversation. Once more, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Keep rising. That is Joshua Makubu, and he recently bagged for himself a doctoral degree in finance. He is proudly a person with disability who is making the most of a situation. It's said that when life serves you lemons, you make lemonade, and he's there.